Awesome. So I'd love to hear, Maggie, about your story, like before I even put the post
Mhm.
out there for, I think it was in the RTT forum. What was happening with you 2 to 3 months before we had our session?
Let's see, 2 to 3 months before we had our session, I was just um, barely getting into RTT. I think I was most likely like in my first, yeah, the first couple months of studying RTT. Um, and yeah, I mean, I finally found my passion and something that something that I love, my purpose in life. And yeah, I just got into it, and um, that's where I was. And then I saw your post.
Yeah. So when you saw
Mhm.
my post, what was it that when you responded, you wanted to work on, like into?
Um, Definitely. So, well, first and foremost, I did want to have a session done on me just so I can know all the aspects of it, so I can like understand the session from the client or the patient's perspective.
Mm,
I feel like it would just give me a better understanding of the whole, RTT as a whole.
mhm.
And then, second of all, I just thought it would be a great opportunity to work on my confidence, something that I have struggled with, since I was a little girl, probably. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Hmm.
when we connected, it was a couple of weeks now, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, I believe.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, how did you, like, when we were going to have the session, like the day of? How did you feel within yourself, and what was like your intention? What was it that you wanted to really work on, that if I was to wave a magic wand,
Hmm. Yeah.
it would be gone,
Um,
the problem or the issue would be gone?
um, it would be, I mean, confidence number one. I think, of course, everything is a little bit can go a little bit deeper than that. Um, I think self-esteem had a big part to play it in as well. Um, but I don't think I really recognized that until we were in the session. But um, but yeah, so back to your original question, I feel like just being confident and being able to speak about what it is that I do. If someone were to ask me, oh, what is it you do, or what is it you're studying right now, I can give them a clear, um, direct answer without feeling kind of like nervous or yeah, like kind of shut down. I wanted to just be confident in my answers or
Mm,
how to respond.
yeah, awesome,
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And what was it like? So during the session, because we had quite a big session,
Hmm.
um, I think it went a little bit over time. And so, how was it for you? Because in the session, I know, I think your husband came up.
Yeah.
And so I was concerned, like, um, that sometimes people can, when you're in your own home and you've got your children in the background, or there's some sort of distraction, it can bring you out. How did you
Yeah.
find the session itself when we were in the session?
Okay, so it really, um because it was my first time doing hypnosis, actually it was a lot different than what I thought it would be. Like I thought, going into hypnosis, I would be kind of like asleep and unaware of what I was saying or what you were saying, and I was just kind of maybe like sleep talking. I felt like had something to like along those lines. But while I was in the session, I didn't even feel like I was under hypnosis. I felt like I was just extremely calm and kind of in like a trance-like state, which like later on as I came out of it, I was like, whoa. I mean, I didn't even feel like I just felt extremely relaxed, basically. So it really, really opened my eyes to like what hypnosis actually is, because I've seen it. I've seen recordings. I've seen Marissa do the, work with her patients, but I just never understood. And, I never understood what it was they were doing. I thought they were most likely sleeping.
Mhm.
So it was actually, it was very cool to experience that. It was a beautiful, like hypnotic trance-like state, I guess you can say. Very relaxed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
so when you're, like, did you find that you could, was it a hyper focus? Like you could still hear me, but you knew me.
Oh, hold on. I think your recording or your audio went out.
Yeah, I just tried to put my earphones on, but they didn't.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Oh no, sorry. So what I didn't quite hear the last part that you said. You were
Like when you were in hypnosis and you're hyper focused and focused on the scenes and stuff, but you were also aware of where you were. How did you find that experience in terms of the scenes and the beliefs that we found and that you had
um
created when you were young?
that was very, very interesting because I remember you asking me why I believed I had low confidence, and I remember I felt like I knew exactly like where it stemmed from, but it ended up not being that at all. Like I just went to a place that I never even like I accessed these memories that I didn't even think I remembered because I've never thought about it,
Mm,
during my daily like day-to-day life. I just don't think about those memories. So it was, and the memories themselves were just so clear, and like while I was there, it felt like I was like the feelings that I had actually felt real. Like it's hard to articulate it because it's just so fascinating. Like it felt like I was there. I was like a little girl again, and those memories just came like back so vividly. So that part was amazing. Also because my memory is not the best. I don't have the best memory. Everybody knows I kind of like misplace things or forget people's names or forget things, but I mean the fact that I was able to hone in on those memories was just like, I don't know, it was incredible.
yeah, on this side, from my point of view, it was incredible as well. It was
Yeah.
amazing to see how you articulated it from the little girl's perspective.
Mhm. Mhm.
Without going into details, but those scenes were quite profound, and I could notice in your voice and in your body how they were resonating with you. Like you
Yeah.
always feel like you're reliving it, but you're not. You're reviewing, but you can
Yeah.
feel yourself in those
Mhm.
moments, having those conversations with yourself and then others. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly what you said. It didn't feel like I was reliving it. It did feel more like I was reviewing it, but at the same time it was just so um it was just so vivid and so like real. So um yeah, it was just amazing, amazing experience. Like, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And we did what did come out, which was interesting, especially was for me on this side. So I don't know how you felt, but was the health issue that was also surrounding was a big part, or a big
Mm,
factor of the impact on your confidence,
yeah.
self-esteem. So how was
Yeah.
it? Because I know you messaged me, I think a week or so later,
Mhm.
the days
Mhm.
later, in terms of that health issue. How did
Um, So we can talk about it. I'm okay to like speak about it. Yeah. But uh, honestly, yeah, that was pretty that was pretty interesting because I did not think that the two were related at all. But after that session, it actually made me question a lot of other things because I felt like that health issue, which is the my swollen cheek, I felt like that issue did affect a lot of other parts of my life. So um, just thinking about it, like, I mean, just being aware of that, I feel like it's slowly helping me process a lot of things um, that I think I suppress those feelings, like, but now I'm starting to like work out a lot of other things, but without getting into too much detail. Um, but yeah, that was a very pretty eye opening too.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. And after the session, how did you feel with that health issue? Because I think it went down a little bit. Was that?
It did a little bit, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't even think you saw it before, but it was a lot more swollen than this. And I'm actually going to be taking like more pictures as the time goes on so that I can kind of like show my progress in it. But yeah, it went down tremendously. Like before, it used to look like I was very like I had a wisdom tooth pulled. It was a lot more pronounced than this. Um, so it has reduced a lot. I mean, it's still there, but we're going in the right direction.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, and this is something that has been with me my whole life. So um, and I've done surgeries on. So the fact that it's like starting to reduce and shrink after RTT has just been it's been phenomenal. I mean, I didn't think that that would ever happen in my life. I kind of had this like um, I came to terms with, oh, this is just going to be here with me forever.
mm,
So seeing that shrink, I mean, I know it's phenomenal.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
we identified, or you identified, that the it started when you were quite young. Like
Hmm.
you decided, um, and I guess you made a decision, and
Hmm.
then the decision behind the decision is a belief about yourself, and then that started. Do you remember how old you were? I remember, but in the session.
To be honest, I I don't.
Oh, okay,
I
I
don't-
can photo
That's
of
so.
notes and send them to you if you want. I can take a photo.
Yeah, it's so funny because while I was there, everything was so clear and so vivid and so real. And when I think back, like I remember the feelings that I felt, but I can't even remember what it is that I was like. It's such a it's very hard to explain. But I can't really give you like the details like I did when I was in the session.
Yeah, you know about a baby. You were a baby.
Oh wow.
So about 1 years old. I don't have the notes on me, but I can definitely, from a therapist perspective, like I would send you the notes so that you can, for your own
Oh.
process, and then when you're working with your own clients, you can understand the process more. Um, I would never take a photo and send it to a client because I wouldn't want them to focus on that or just move
Mm,
and listen to the audio for 21
mhm.
days. But I'll definitely do that after we
Oh,
finish.
I would love that. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, awesome. So what are like three things that you found were beneficial for you after the session, like days or weeks after?
Uh, so it's they're very subtle differences that I've noticed, but I mean, it's funny because I feel the same, but when I think back to how I used to be, I feel like that was like ages ago. It's very like I just feel like I'm me, but a more like new and improved me. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Like as far as just having conversations with my husband, I am more clear and more direct on my needs.
mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's not even the way that I speak. I think it's just this like energy that I have around him now. That to the point where I don't even have to say certain things. He just gets it,
Yeah.
which we were never on that like wavelength before. Like I felt like I would always have to constantly like ask for what I needed and ask for it in different ways and different terminologies until he like and I felt like he never really understood anyway. And even if I said it a million different ways, he still didn't really get what I needed. But I've been able to um, to tell him exactly what I need and get what I need from him. So
Wow.
that was like a huge thing. And that's the thing that I noticed the most because I live with my husband. So I mean, this is like every day, 100 times a day of things that I need. It's like, you know, um, I'm getting it. So it's wonderful. And then my parents were here for celebrating my son's first birthday,
Mm,
and just talking to them about what I do in school, and saying it confidently, and not having any self doubt. That was another huge that was another huge thing that I've noticed because I think before I would have had some sort of doubts or I would have kind of downplayed maybe what I did or but I wasn't. I was even studying in front of them and I even took, said it like I took pride in um like what it is that I do. So that was great. Um and yeah, I think that was just something that was huge. I mean, I'm not going out as much as before because we are on lockdown. So I haven't been able to like
lockdown? Are you
um there's these like essential markets and everything are open. Essential businesses, sorry, are open. But yeah, like everything like usually we'd be out like at a bar or something. Those aren't open. But yeah, so I haven't been like, I haven't been as social as I normally am, but just noticing the little differences with my husband and our day-to-day interactions. I mean, that alone is just um has been a huge change
yeah,
for the
awesome.
better.
Yeah. So is there anything else that because and I'm just flipping the switch because I do this, but when you building your business and you're going to be, the therapist on the other end of where I am with your clients and you're the client, what were some of the things that you would love to integrate in your sessions just from your own experience?
Let me think. That's a really good question because I remember being in the session or under hypnosis and thinking, "Oh, that's really good. I should do that." Now to remember that stuff is is the hard part. But I'm trying to think back. Something I really did enjoy, and um, I do want to take this from the session is just to be it's just to have a conversation. You made the conversation and the session feel like really fluid, and felt like you were just kind of talking to me as like a friend,
Mm,
as opposed to like a therapist, like probing and kind of just like, just asking like clear cut questions, like, um, it felt very fluid the way that you did it. So it felt very natural and organic. And I love that. So I would love to take that and, give that to my clients as well.
Mm,
Um,
awesome.
but I mean, I know that does come in time though. I mean, you are experienced in it, but I do need to have that like in the back of my mind to just, instead of being so analytical, or to just kind of talk to the client as like as a friend, just
Mm,
like make them feel comfortable.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I love what I do, and I'm sure that came through, and I also love
Oh
how
yeah.
so and I come from a clinical background where it's
Mm,
very, you know, you've got professionalism, critical
mhm,
thinking, there's the certain boundaries with the
mhm,
nurse and the patient relationship. There's so many policies and procedures
mhm.
and guidelines that
Yeah.
clinical setting and emergency would be very, um, you know, different in my approach.
Yeah.
But because this is my like reason why I do what I do, it
Mm,
comes. It's almost like, oh, I'm so grateful I've got this opportunity to help this person, this human being. I'm very
yeah.
centered, and so that's
Mhm,
what comes through in the session. I mean, that's just when I was a nurse, I used to always want to like, yeah, be their cheerleader and say, you could do another way. You don't really have to take those pills. There's other things that you can look
mm,
for. But I was bound by my contract, and I
yeah.
couldn't. Otherwise, I would be fired and probably be on the news.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Now I'm like, empower them where we can. So that's probably why. So
That's awesome.
thank you so much for sharing. I know that your unconscious mind is amazing, phenomenal, and so the scenes that came up out of all the thousands of scenes that could have been chosen, those were the scenes, which is
Yeah.
powerful. Um, and when it's in the moments of decision that you create your destiny. So at any moment, you can pivot and adapt with not only the RTT session, but with your business and
Mhm.
with any decision you want to do and make. So I'm really grateful for you reaching out.
Yeah.
Amazing. I was really honoured to be a part of the session. I know there was one point there where I was like, I think it was you're on the bicycle. Uh,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Biking, yeah, and I thought, wow, it's just as an adult with the teenage daughter, um, and just automatically um, I guess by default, I'm like the leader,
Mm,
and supposed to be this example to her. So everything I do or say is
mm.
so important.
Yeah.
That's I learned so many things from your session. So it wasn't even about, I mean, of course, you got your learnings and
Yeah.
you were able to get your breakthroughs and mini transformations. But for me, I also learned
Oh.
the session.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I wanted
That's
to share that
awesome.
with you and how important our relationships with our parents are. And,
Yeah.
when they have their opinions and or they have their way of being,
Mhm.
that sometimes we automatically allow that to impact our decisions. That's just what I got. That's not what you said in your session, but I noticed for me, I was witnessing that for me. So it's like, wow, okay, I can transition that into empowering my daughter. So,
Oh, awesome.
well,
Well, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you got that out of it.
yeah,
That's
definitely.
great.
Yeah.
And I do want to say thank you for the session. It was honestly just probably one of the most important things I'm going to do for my whole career. So just for you to be a part of that, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's lovely to
Yeah.
connect. So thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
your testimonial. And would you recommend me to other people?
Oh my God. Of course, 100%, 2 thumbs up. But
Thank
yes, I would. I would from 1 to 10, 10. I would very highly recommend. I would very highly recommend you.
you. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for connecting, and I look forward to seeing your journey. And
Yeah.
you're going to be amazing. So
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
you love people and you want to help them. Like all the other stuff, the information overload that we can find ourselves in. Don't worry about that too much.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jocelyn.
Lovely to connect, sister.